Part 3. Having someone grab your neck is a very dangerous thing to happen. Depending on how they hold and how hard they grip will determine the level of danger you are in. It is vital to respond immediately to such a threat. The throat and neck consist of fragile bones, arteries, nerves, and the spinal column, just behind your throat. Use your hand to twist and release their grip from your neck. To do this, you should put your thumb between their thumb and index finger, wrapping your hand on the back of theirs. Use your other arm to push their elbow down. Stepping forward at this point will place them face first on the ground, allowing you to escape or restrain them using movements shown later in the series. Let's see this again. The attacker reaches forward and grabs her neck. Instead of fighting back, it's a good idea to allow them to extend their arm as you release the grip from the neck. Here we see her moving back and away. This has to be done at the same time. In other words, as the attacker makes contact with the neck, the hand needs to be placed immediately on the attacker's hand so that your thumb is placed in between their thumb and index finger as you roll your body away from the pressure of their tightening grip. This will make them extend their arm forward. This movement is very similar to the one in Part 2, except that in Part 2, the shoulder was pulled back. In this technique, the grip isn't allowed to tighten as the arm is placed behind their elbow. As you see here, his hand is twisted back. This is because of the hand and thumb placement and the movement rotating the hand round. This will cause his body position to shift, which will expose his elbow for you to lever it down. This type of movement can be very painful for the attacker. As the hand is being twisted and folded back, it will stretch his tendons, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, to have to reposition the body to release the pain. This is to our advantage, and they have no choice but to go along in the direction of the movement. Folding the wrist back will straighten their arm and lock their elbow. In a self-defense situation, there is no time to wait, pause, or hesitate, because if you do, it will leave you compromised. Compromise is not something that's recommended when protecting yourself. Timing and speed have a lot to do with time spent practicing. Practice makes perfect. It's always better to be prepared and to have the competence to control the situation in the necessary way. At this point, taking a step forward will place them flat on the ground. Depending on the force and speed that you use will determine the outcome. Either they will be placed flat, face down gently without injury if you do it slowly. If this move was done quickly and using forceful breathing as you step forward, their face will make contact with the surface. As you can see here, his hand is on the ground holding him up. This is a natural response, an instinctive response. This is the only thing holding him up at the moment. Now, if you step forward, his body will move forward and he can't move his hand in time. All the force plus the hardness of the surface will determine the outcome. When training and practicing, it's important to understand the outcomes of your actions and reactions. At this point, there are other things you can do, which will be covered in the coming parts to this series. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, consider subscribing, leave a comment, and if you know someone that can find this useful, please share it with them. Until next time, try to make each day better than it was the day before.